with it right. Here with who I started with, we something like a Spartan. It's going hard regardless. I'm from the 826 plus 5. Mo bitches, A-Drake, Uno, Central Coast, mob and suicide. Always arsonist. I step in the booth and cast, I gotta keep it lit. Engineer all my music, I work hard at this.
That's right, and we're back live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Beautiful in the Raza, man. Hit that like button. If you're listening live or if you're listening on the replay, man, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to tap into the Chicano channel. This is where we talk about brown issues, okay? Uncut, not watered down, not biasly, not looking at it through any kind of lens other than brown people that are dealing with brown issues, man. Hit that like if you're listening live right now. Or if you're listening on the replay, hit that like. Let me remind you, you could also hit that pinchy share button, gente. The share button is free. If you're on a smartphone, it's linked to all your social media pages. You could hit that share button. As we're going to talk about something ahorita que, pues, está caliente la cosa. But how much does it really affect us? I'm over here just to think critically and bring different perspectives over to the people. That's all I'm here to do. At the end of the day, I've been pushing for unity since day number one. Day number one, and it's a hell of a task to try to accomplish, man. But the Raza can do it. But anyways, hit that like if you're joining the live, man. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we already know what happened just a few days ago. You have to be living under a rock, pendejos, see, if you don't know what's going on, right? Basically, a bunch of stealth bombers. Stealth. I had heard about these pinchy airplanes a while ago. Maybe I don't even know if it was maybe even as a chavalito, maybe one of the early generation models of stealth bombers. But the U.S. military has been known to have la más chingón military since probably at least what, the First or Second World War, right? Russia was always on top. China has always been very innovative. And as far as technology goes, China has had innovation. Russia has had, Germany has had very, very high level, sophisticated militaries. But as far as where we're at right now, at least probably from the 19th century, that's my guess. It's just a guess, gente. Probably since the 19th century, the give me a second. The United States has had the most sophisticated one. Give me a second. Let me just check something real quick. All right. No problem. Just making sure. And then perfect. All right. Probably since the 19th century, the US has had the most sophisticated military system. About the 19th century. So the other day, it was just there was a press conference, and I think it was like at 10 p.m. And I think, of course, that's East Coast time. So a lot of us on the West Coast got to hear it. And basically, the press conference says, "Look, we did a move, boom, bat, boom, and we're out of there." Right? Okay. Well, then we come back to La Raza that are on the internet, right? La Raza that are here, right? We're on the internet, and of course, I like to call out propaganda, BS, etc. If it is that, if it's not that, and I know it to be true, I ain't making shit up because no one's bought me. No one has a receipt for Mikey. Mikey's always going to give it to you raw, real, and uncut, right? And see what everyone is saying about it. So what I saw mostly on the internet was a bunch of fear tactics, like a bunch of hey, tengan miedo, and I'm like, am I the only one on the internet that keeps reminding La Raza of the cycles and patterns that keep happening in history? History is bound to repeat itself. Okay. So, bombings happen, right? They dropped about a few dozen bombs or whatever it was. 6 planes flew over there, B 2 stealth bombers, and then they came back. Is that anything new? Well, I had to start thinking of I can only go search my memory bank as far back as when I started giving a shit and caring, right? Which was post 2008, 9, 10 is when I started giving a shit, caring, looking into these things and finally learning, right? Learning shit that's valuable. And I started saying, wait a second, under the last administration, There was two complete cities that were carpet bombed all the way. And I'm like, okay, well, so it's already been happening. It's already been happening. Bomb the shit out of Syria, bomb the shit out of Libya. So should the Raza right now trying to be putting, should they be worried, putting their life on pause, rearranging their schedules? Does the Raza need to be doing all of that? Because the United States went over there to Iran and dropped a couple bombs. Not really, not in my opinion. So it's what really trips me out is funny is everyone does what they does, cuz I ain't gonna tell someone what to do on the internet, right? Everyone does what they does, right? But the fear mongering, the fear spreading, the fear it starts when you start posting shit like World War III, World War III. You want it to be a World War III? Okay, cabron. Well, lace up your boots and let's see if you can get to the front lines with a pinche cuete. I put on one of my IG stories. It was funny as hell, man. And the DMs that I was getting there, you guys, hey, keep sending them to me. Like I said, I hear you guys, man. But some of them were mamadas, right? Some of them were like, oh, how could you post that? And this, because what? If I post a clip of the military, so what? Que te valga. If I post it, so I post a clip of the military. What? You know, again, there's a perspective inside La Brown Raza that we should not be embracing the American flag. That's complete, utter bullshit. Well, at least it is to a first generation Chicano. It seems like the more generations you go up, the more water, the more aguas en la vaso. Don't take that to the heart. This is brown. These are brown issues. What I'm saying is this: we fly the American flag because we're born here on the soil. We went to school with these fucking Tylers and Keiths and Kevins and blue eyes and blonde hair, played football together, didn't really throw chingazos, you know what I mean? Um, and never had an issue, never had a problem. Now you're going to try to convince people on the internet that the American flag is a bad flag to fly. Brown people, me, brown people like me. You're gonna try to convince? I don't know about that. So, anyways, the DMs were getting wild, right? The ones that were sending me on Mikey, how could you? So the first IG story I posted was funny as hell, right? It was with uh that one banda recodo singing the version of El Diablo. I forgot the name of it. El Diablo something is the title, right? Que pensaban que tenía al diablo, mentiras no valgan nada. I don't know. And it says when Mexican Americans get to Iran and start tearing shit up, right? But again, is this changing our lives? I'm gonna be on here maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. I just want to ask the people because again, La Raza, quick to scare the shit out of La Raza. It's better that the Raza try to seek out someone fucking level headed on the level, at least someone that's aware. That means not just have a book IQ, have a street IQ, have a sense of information, right? I don't watch, again, this is the bad thing about La Raza. Politics has us even getting more divided. Politics. I don't give a fuck about CNN. I don't give a fuck about Fox. I do care to get information. But what I don't go to the news is to get indoctrination. I don't go to the news to get indoctrinated. That means I don't go to the news already thinking, okay, well, this is my angle, and I just need videos or shit that's going to back up my play. That's the wrong way to approach things that are brown issues. I keep saying brown issues, gente. Let me go to the comment section, though. Uh, do you think the U.S. should get involved? Hell no. I don't think the U.S. should do, and that's my son and daughter. Well, that's your pinchy son and daughter. Now, again, that they're brave, they're courageous. My son just graduated from high school. He got sent all the Marine stuff. A couple of his friends lifted their hands, pledged allegiance to the flag, and took off. Navy, Marines, and the Army, right? So that's their lives. But for what? At the end of the day, you have to think about it. what's necessary to lose our children for what? Two countries, two countries on another side of the world, and I know we'll talk about the humanitarian thing because someone could be saying, "Oh, Mikey, that's fucked up. That's gacho." I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But my son and daughter's life on the line for something they didn't start, something that doesn't effectively direct us. Someone asked me, Mikey, what if it was American? I mean, what if it was USA versus Mexico? And they tried to get me like this was a good one. This was a pretty good one. Like right now, as you guys are commenting, it was a comment, and I read it, and I'm like, damn, that's a good one. Who would you lace your boots up for, Mikey? Would you lace your pinchy boots, fucking green boots, or the marine fucking espada con el gorro? Um, who would you lace your boots of, the United States or for Mexico? I had a pause. I did have to pause, right? Because when I think of things, not only do I try to put it from my experience and my little knowledge bank of knowledge and wisdom, but I also approach things the way my parents' values. My parents' values and what my parents taught me affect everything I say. And a lot of you can relate. You're like, damn, first generation Chicano, just like me. Parents, traditional Mexican, and we ain't going to get into the politics, but I guess we're talking about world wars now, right? So I had a pause and I was like, it has to be the United States. Why? How could it be another country other than the country that I'm in, that I plan to be in, that I plan my children to be in, their children's children to be in? And I'm teaching my kids the cheat code on how to get a bag. And then that way, when you get the money out of the way, the true you comes out. Because if you're a piece of shit, then having money ain't going to do shit to you. You're just going to be a bigger piece of shit. So how could I say Mexico? But I paused because, again, I also think of what my parents would think, even though they're not here. And someone can be like, oh, well, there's new thinking now. We don't think like our parents think. Tu abuela. I mean, that's you speaking for you, not for me. I still think of things. My parents are in their graves. I'm right now visiting moms. I got done visiting moms right now. Okay. Before I take off doing this little video, my parents are both in the graves. I still consider, if they were alive, what they would think as traditional Mexicanos, how they would approach things. I still do that. I can't be like, well, that was old school stuff, that was back then, and moms was like this, and nah, childless street, you know what I mean? Is it the right move? I think what the US did probably is the right move. They have been talking about that country. And again, I don't want to get anyone to get upset, especially if you're from that nationality. If you have that blood, I get it. You probably maybe even have loved ones that passed away. I get it. It's a sensitive topic. I get it. I'm not just rambling or shooting off at the mouth. I understand this affects people, and people are unalived because of this. I don't know how many, but they say the facilities are way out there in the middle of nowhere, and these are uranium facilities. Okay, so it's not like when they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima. That was fucked up. But another thing the U.S. saw necessary. That's a whole nother topic, but we can get to that. Is it the right move? People have been talking about doing this for over 30 years. I could play all of the clips to you. All of the clips from all the presidents. I can play you president after president after president after president. And then here we are now where it got done. I can. Oh, man. It's crazy, man. This is crazy, man. How did they get all of that uranium? Who gave them all that uranium? If I tell you, they'll probably knock the stream down. If I say it, it'll probably knock the stream down. Who gave them all the pallets of cash? $16 billion. Who gave them that? O sea, the problem has been snowballing, and they took care of it. But I care primarily about, of course, me, my family, right? And then the Raza online. I look at the Raza online because there are people that are getting anxiety, a la chingada, depression, fucking It's a serious, serious thing that people can go on the internet, and if you don't know no better or don't have a life outside the internet, you'll think this is your whole world, and you'll just see negative, 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 negative. Like fuck, all the brown people are getting hurt. Oh man, and a brown person's. I'm just scrolling like this, como pendejo on the internet. If I'm just scrolling, brown person getting hurt. Brown person, brown is bad. Oh, brown, the brown, the brown, the brown, the brown. I get those things are happening, but the fear mongering is only scaring the shit out of the raza. Is this thing something new? What about when we bombed the shit out of Syria? I heard there was over 10,000 bombs. We dropped the United States. This is in 2014, either in 12. Someone could look it up and fact check me. Libya and Syria, 2012 or 14. They're saying there's over 20,000 bombs we dropped on them combined. Was the internet blowing up the brown people? Hey, World War. Nothing was happening. Again, I say this to put some context on things. Don't come on this internet and put too much on it. Don't put 10 on the 2. Live your life. You're for no more. Prosper, succeed. Get at me on IG. I started from the gutter. I didn't know shit. Now to owning real estate. I didn't know nothing. Credit shot out. Couldn't even get a job. For 2 years, couldn't pass a background check. I've been there, done that on parole. High control. Not just parole, high control. Started from the gutter. First generation Mexican American. Dad, born in Michoacan. Mom, born in Jalisco. I'm born in Salas, Salinas, California. I went back to Mexico. I got my citizenship in Mexico. Now I'm a dual citizen, so I could buy property in Mexico. No politics fucking has me. This is not CNN channel. This is not the Fox channel. The guests, they'll trip out. I'll have a guest 1 week with a whole different perspective, and then the next week I'll have another guest with a whole opposite perspective. That's the beautiful thing about it. This shit is like I'm like Mikey Bet David. Mikey Bet David. O sea, like PBD. ¿Verdad? The rich pinchy way that he owns the fucking New York Yankees and billionaire. All perspectives are hosted on ChicanoTube. You don't have to come on. People have turned down the invitation. That's okay because they understand. Let me let you know. Here we host all perspectives. So 1 week you'll see one person with one ideology and view, and the next week you'll see someone with the opposite, and I'm getting everyone that's Brown's voice to the table. So how much are we tripping on Iran? Let's start wrapping this up before 1 o'clock, right? Let me read some more comments though. Daniel Berry, that's right, cabron. I appreciate you. Iran's people don't even like their own government. So that means there could be a revolt. They call them separationist. I just seen that movie is trending. Oh man, I watched a couple good ones on over the weekend. I watched Mule from Clint Eastwood. That was a good one. Pinche Vato started moving loads at 90 years old, right? I watched a Plane. In the movie Plane, that's the dude from 300 Spartans or Sparta. Remember that movie's? Yeah. They landed on a plane in the Philippines by emergency. That whole island was not under the Filipino government. They were separationists, like a militia overtook the whole island. So it could be like that, you know. But again, my son, my daughter, gonna lose their life for some shit they didn't get into. Who wants that? Now, one time on one of the videos, it was brought up. I think it was during the town hall that we did, right? About Ukraine, right? And I don't know, it was over 80 to 100 billion dollars. They kept sending a tiny city the size of like Maine, a city the size of Maine in the United States. Why were they getting 100 billion? Oh, they're getting attacked. Okay, I get it. I get it. But that's a lot of cash. And it seemed to be just a funneling scheme. People on the other side of the world you couldn't even find. If you spun that blue globe that we had as youngsters, you wouldn't even be able to find that little pinchy country, right? So someone said, well, Mikey, is $80 billion more, is that worth more than a life? Well, of course the answer is no. Not like everyone has $80 billion laying around. If that was the case to save a motherfucker, but the answer is absolutely no. But the answer, the common sense approach is this: is this a brown issue? Are we taking this head on? Because the immigration, why did we do 4 town halls in a row? Which the main topic was the immigration. It took it over. Even if I try to move it to another direction, immigration always came back because immigration is a brown issue. But what's been happening is nothing new. Just right now, there's something that I call deportation amplification. It's real. It's to the point where it's like they're calling it, regular legal immigration deportation. I understand that people have a perspective. It's a system. It's meant to control us. It's a system. They're all systems. Well, of course, everything is a system. Everything is a system. The government is a system. Religion is a system. Finances, the financial institution, that's a system. Commerce, trade, consumers, that's a system. I get it. It's all a system, right? I get that. Let me read some more comments, man. I'm just right here, man. Flaco said this war is about ruling. Okay, good. Let's bring it back to brown issues, cabron. What we don't need right now is to be harping on each other, man. Another brown person should be off limits right now, man. That's off. That's hands off policy. I'm calling a hands off policy on anyone brown until we figure this shit out. Now I know they're talking about doing a 1-day strike, a 1-day call in sick. I don't think that's enough. I'm not saying don't do it. Take a sick day. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying I don't think that's enough. We made such a roar and noise that it got to the White House. I know there was conflicting articles saying, well, he's backpedaling. I don't know. Am I at the White House? I don't know. I believe a quarter of what I see on the internet, a quarter, and none of what I hear if I don't see anything substantial behind it. Te digo que la agua con limones es vida, cabrones, chinga. Here we go. Gnarly vato, that's right, my boy. I appreciate you. They just can't enrich it to 90% to make a bomb. They have to have it around 30 to 60%. What a trip, man. That there is no more threat. O sea, what people have been talking about for 30, 40 years, these uranium factories that, again, I don't want to mention the president's names. One president gave them all the uranium they have right now. I'll just say it was a she. I'm not going to say the name. She gave them all the uranium they have right now. Another president, one of them was included, the last one, but it was another president, I won't say his name, but he got 2 terms back to back. Gave them the most cash. I mean, I'm talking about on pallets of cash. So they've been setting themselves up in this position to scream as having the ace up the sleeve that will fuck all kinds of shit up. But guess what happened? As of a couple days ago, that exists 0%. The United States did it. They didn't talk about it. They fucking did it. How about this? If that right there, those bombings, and hopefully, it didn't take lives, but it's called war. If that saves us in the future, or maybe it doesn't save us, maybe it saves our great grandchildren from when shit gets even crazier or something, because the Bible doesn't say shit's going to get better before the Lord comes. It says it's going to get worser. So get your hopes up. ¿Para qué? No, just make the best out of it. Come on the internet, though. When I see some shit, I'm like, the raza needs to calm down. I hear of people getting affected by mental health, depression, taking their own lives. A lot has to do with coming on this internet and brown, negative, brown. Hey, it's the fucking summer, cabrones. Look, the sun is out. The fucking grill is hot. There's water parks. Get off this internet, disconnect, hit the X, and when you come on Chicano Street, just know we're gonna give you what brown issues are and what the real is. What the real is. Wald P. Fan, he says, I don't like Israel. It's a terrorist state. Look, as far as Israel goes, I don't even know if the Israel, that's over there is the Israel of the Bible. I don't know. I don't know. It could just, I mean, and I don't listen to these podcasts that say this. It's just something makes me think that what if it is just a bunch of people, not even lineage of the house of David over there, and just reaping the benefits because they're called Israel? I don't know, man. I question everything. I'm not just going to be like, oh, yeah, Christians, the Bible. I get that. I'm a Christian. Olvida eso. Olvida eso. Okay. Not perfect, but soy cristiano. But just because I'm a Christian, oh, Israel, we got to go down with Israel. Well, wait a second. Israel's going to go down for Israel. We're going to go down for us. And don't get it twisted. Chicanos fly two flags. But I think I made it kind of popular, to be honest, because now the Chicano flag, that's half and half, I've been seeing a lot more Chicano flags come out in videos. And I'm like, orale, that's right. The Chicano flag. Don't get it twisted. So when they try to talk us out of the American flag, you're crazy. You need to take that off. But everything after the but, we don't want to hear. We grew up here. We got love for here. Or else I'd pack my bags, to be honest. I probably am going to get a little hacienda in Mexico. Probably in Ensenada or Rosarito. A little bit later, not right now. Vic says they're playing us, bro. We could be getting played, man. For sure, we're getting played every 4 years for our vote. I will tell you that. I don't have to guess about that. They're playing us for our vote every 4 years. We know that. Without a shadow of a doubt, they've been playing us for our vote. So that's why we got to get past the politics. Don't gangbang, north and south, red and blue, crip and blood with the red and blue. Don't. I mean, when I bring a guest on Chicano Tube, I'm gonna let them speak their truth. But again, since we host all perspectives, one week you'll have one person's perspective and then another person. You can have a liberal one week, and then you'll have a conservative the next week. And so what? They're both brown. See what I'm saying? They're playing us, cabron. We're getting played, man. Like some fucking gin rummy. At least they didn't. At least they didn't hit the poor people on like the shit going on in Gaza. Yeah, okay. Give me a second, okay? Give me 30 seconds. Just 30. Give me a dirty 30, cabrones. A dirty 30. And we're gonna talk about Gaza. We're gonna talk about Raza for Gaza. Because I think I asked Carlos Montes this when Carlos Montes was a guest. I think I asked him, should the Raza be Raza for Gaza? What's going on? And he's saying yes. But I do believe this, and I'm just putting this out there. I'm not sticking this on anyone, but this is also happening as well. Will fall under a banner of a movement, of a political movement, will fall under a banner, and you fucking can't. If you go against anything else that comes under that banner of what that group believes in, you're out. Your ass is fucking toast. You're grass. You're kicked out. You're out of the rampla. You're out of the clica. I mean, you know what I mean. You're out of that. So it could be that some people genuinely care about Gaza humanity tip. I get that, man. They're getting bombed. I get that. They're getting the worst of the retaliation. I'll explain that right now. But then there's also others that are saying, "Oh, we have to say it. We have to say it," and maybe don't think it, can't think about it, but have to say it because they're under political movement, right? The Gaza, what I said, they're on the hard part of the retaliation. Is first of all, that's been going on right since Esau and Jacob. So forget about that. Okay, that's thousands of years ago. Esau, Jacob, right? But the 1,000 rockets that were launched into Israel under the previous administration, the 1,000 rockets, that means there were cities getting blanketed with multiple one night, the Israelis were chilling, and the Israelis, for the most part, are always pushing for peace, man. Hey, we just want to be at peace with our neighbors, but the Bible says they've had all sides against them since the Lord gave them the land. It wasn't their land, it was the Canaanites' land. But since the Lord gave to them, and what are you going to tell the Lord? And I know that people say, the Bible's also, it's like religion, they're to control you. I get it, man. I get all of that, cabron. But let me just keep it simple for me and for la raza. That way I can approach these things one, two, three, and don't overcomplicate these things, man. Dios, familia y cultura. That's as simple as it's ever gonna get, man. Dios, familia, mi familia. Right here we got the YouTube familia, TikTok familia, IG familia, Facebook, and you name it. And cultura, what we talk about, what we have on the podcast, educators, etc. But of course, brown issues, no matter what political, you're gonna come and you're gonna speak your truth. Have you ever seen me on an interview shove it down ahí abajo de la garganta someone? Oh, this. No. Do I have my own personal? Yes. But it's gonna take someone to come to create a new table. That way people can feel comfortable and sit down. And once this shit picks up steam, people are wanting to. Now that people are reaching out to me like, hey, I want to jump on them. I want to speak my truth. I got something to say about it. Well, first of all, I just want to make contact with them, look at them, make sure, they're on the level. And then, see if they got a little bit of a following on social media. And then we'll bring them on the platform and let them speak their truth. You notice I just talk about the brown issues that the brown people are talking about and let them speak their truth. Now, if they're one sided, of course, they're going to say, okay, well, he's coming from that side. Okay, well, she's coming from that side. And you have to get it. It won't take long into the interview knowing, okay, this is their camp. You know what I mean? They're planting their flag like this. I get it. But in Gaza, they launched 1,000 rockets in the middle of the night. I believe all because of, again, the same shit. They hate them being their way. They say it's not theirs. They hate them being there. My bad. Yeah, they hate them being there. So, but it's not just a thing. Oh, I'm a Christian. I back up Israel. Of course, I pray for Jerusalem. King David say pray for Jerusalem many times in the Psalms. King David, the baddest king, King David, pray for Jerusalem. So I pray for him, man. Oh, but so after the 1,000 rockets, here's the retaliation. And I've said this. This is like menace to society. Remember what happened when Cain beat down Eilena's cousin? Right there in the Jordan Downs that aren't even there no more. They flattened the Jordan. They flattened our projects too. Don't feel bad, cabrones. In Salinas, they flattened the whole projects right there. And the projects had a neighborhood back in the 80s and 90s, but they flattened the whole shit, so don't feel bad. What happened to Kane when he bum rushed Eilena's cousin? Make sure my audio's good. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh yeah, I'm good. Well, they came around the corner in the fucking hard top primered 65. I think every cholo that's ever been a cholo has driven in a 1965 primered yellow ride, right? And what happened? The retaliation was, it was tough. So Gaza's get. Am I saying all these images of children starving, bro? Those are images of war. Fucking those suck. That's like seeing us, the brown raza, in those years that one president was rapping our own people, raza, Mexicanos. They're rapping them like hot dogs on the floor. You think I like to see those images? Same shit, but now they're just talking about Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. And what the sad thing is we could still have right now kids getting wrapped like hot dogs, and we don't even know it. I don't know. Zero casualties. Fake news squatter shot down. Oh, news. Fake news. Qatar shot down every zero casualty. Fake news. Qatar shot down every missile. Oh shit. So you're saying no uranium facilities were hit and it's fake news, some kind of Iron Dome or the missile intercepting ones? Those are crazy, huh? Those are on the ground and just they launch so many because there's so many pinchy rockets flying in there and they're like heat seekers. They're gonna hit their target unless there's some kind of crazy maneuvering. That's crazy, man. I don't know. Am I there? No. Am I telling the raza something that I know is true? Yes. What am I saying? I'm saying don't trip. Live your lives. Prosper. Okay? Go fucking enroll in summer camp. Get the kids in summer soccer. Um, Handle your business. If you're an advocate like me, then voice your voice. If you want to get at me because you want to get on the platform, then DM me. I'm ChicanoTube on all platforms. If you got something to say, okay, we'll touch base once and then maybe make it happen. I don't know. Go ahead and reach out to me on ChicanoTube, and we talk about these issues. But when I just see all the raza and I'm seeing people get affected mentally by it, I'm gonna be like, hey, cálmense. Okay, don't forget 20,000 bombs in Libya, 20,000 bombs in Syria, and no one was screaming. None of the raza. We were doing the same shit, listening to oldies and grilling carne asada. So we should be doing the same shit right now, listening to oldies and grilling carne asada. Calmas. What's the talking point? We're talking about how much really does Iran affect La Raza? And again, I know I'm in a small cluster, right? I'm in California. Most of you guys are in California. Maybe not. Maybe you guys are in other states. So Chicanos really primarily. How does this affect us, right? I shared on my IG story a funny one, the tank rolling through Iran and is bumping Banda Recodo. Dijeron que cargaba el diablo. Mentiras no carga nada. Lo que tenía en su cintura era una pistola escuadra. Ooh. And how much does it really affect us? It doesn't. Presidents have always bombed this shit. I just named two instances where one president bombed two whole cities, over 20,000 bombs. And how much was on social media? Zero. And it's sad because sometimes when the president's politics line up with ours, we do. We give into that. We put that first. We put that first instead of putting brown issues first. What I'm saying is, okay, be red or blue. I mean, it's a two-party system. Whether you hate it or not, you're gonna have to vote one way. If you don't vote red or blue, then your fucking vote is almost gonna fall to shit because it's gonna fall in a percentile of less than 10%. Maybe a little party that has 9%, 7, 5, 3. So it's we're stuck in a two-party system. But don't ever let that blind you where you don't put brown issues first. Don't ever let that blind you where it's another brown person you want to go after. What part of the game is that? Last comments, man. Vic says, I'm watching, man. Yeah, keep your eyes open, cabron. I wouldn't be watching in the sky for bombas. I wouldn't be watching for bombas in the sky. You know what I mean, cabron. But enjoy the summer, cabron. We got a couple trips, man. I just came back from Mex. I'm gonna take off to Vegas. What are we gonna do after that? We got a water park trip. And then and then get a hold of me, cabron. You know who you are. We're gonna hit that lake. We got a lake trip with some jet skis, and that's what's going on. They're bombing on the news, World War III. Hey, it's all for clickbait. Is it really happening? And then maybe it didn't happen. Maybe some people were like, this shit is so staged that they're just talking about shit that never happens. That's kind of going a little bit too far, man. Some of these podcasts are a little bit more conspiracy podcast. And I know what they talk about, the system, the control. I get it. But why do I want to listen to that all day? That's like fucking doom and gloom. That's like, that'll take, if I listen to doom and gloom podcasts that say everything's a system control, they're controlling you. Christianity is not real. Fucking, this is not real. United States is not real. Your life is not real. You're a thought, you're a simulation, you're reincarnated, whatever. If I listen to that all day, I think it's going to take the fucking hope out of me. It's going to take the life and suck the hope out. So I don't want to hear that, but I get it when people say that, right? I do get that, man. Vic says, vote for Bernie. Man, it would have been weekend at Bernie's right there, man. But he looked like he had more energy. That's crazy. The last president, it was like a Christmas service, right? And there was a gospel choir singing on the stage, and even Kamala Harris was next to him, the cabinet secretary, all his whole cabinet was right there, right? And he's just staring crazy, like you can tell. Absolutely, any clinical physician will be like, something is wrong, and he was just kind of like gazing into the few. It was crazy. So I do know we have to be honest, man. We have to be honest. There was a cover up with the medics and the last president. We have to be honest, man. And then why did Dr. Fucci need a pardon from the president when he left? I don't want to just get too much into it, but these are brown things that we should be like, wait a second. This motherfucker told us to inject all kinds of shit in us that we don't even know what it is that was rushed out to the people. And they have no liability for all the shit that they wanted to inject in us. This motherfucker was championing to inject us and then got a pardon on the way out. That's a brown issue because now and that's more than a brown. That's a human issue. More people should have been like me and the beautiful smoking sexy out wife. Hey, wait a second. What happened to medical freedom in this country? They're forcing us to get injections? That don't sound like the United States. Whole different topic though. Whole different topic. Smiley from Hillside 3. He said Trump on people to inject bleach. That's crazy. Hey, real quick, Smiley Hillside 13. I remember being a little chavalito. There was a next door neighbor. Of course, we're in the barrio, right? Her name was Doña Ramona, right? Doña Ramona. And she had a daughter that was me and my sister's age and stuff, but we wouldn't hang out. I remember one time she was pounding on the door. It's like 7, 8 o'clock at night. Boom, 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 boom. Ayúdame, because she couldn't drive, right? My mom couldn't drive either, and the next door neighbor, right? And we had a back door, like a laundry room that that had the back door. You'd go through the laundry room and ayúdame, ayúdame. And my dad was there. ¿Qué pasó? He answered the door, and I remember hearing it. I'm in the living room. He goes, ayúdame. Tenía una taza y me la tomé. Pensaba que era agua, pero era cloro. That's crazy, man. Doña Ramona drank a cup of bleach and bang and knocked on the door and pops took her to the doctor, man. That's crazy, bro. OG Smoker says Mikey's my homie. Why? Wait, because I got Brillo. I got boxes of Brillo. That's it. Boxes of Brillo, huh? From the fucking from D&D from 99 General. Or what's it called? The General. I know OG Smoker knows this store. What's it called? Wait. Dollar General? Is that the one? Dollar General. They both went against the middle again, bro. Can we get to? Okay, look, I know what American Cholo's saying. Hey, Cali Mac, put it all together. I don't want to knock it down, bro, because what else do we got, man? Who else is saying something? Well, I don't like him. And I know I made peace with everyone on New Year's, and half of my soldados still have a pedazo and want to fucking take flight. And as soon as they see someone, they just want to stick fierros. I get that, but that's all personal beefs and personal shit that I've buried for the greater good. Imagine all of a sudden you see a live, boom, we're all live. And guess who's together? AC, Tony, Hoodstocks, me, so on, so. And I'm not saying I'm anybody. I'm not saying I'm anyone, but I am the kind of ballsy motherfucker that'll reach out to someone to make it happen. I'll tell you that. I got the balls to do that. Hey, check this out. This is boom, 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 and get at them, right? Hispanics are too envious. I'm not even too keen on that word, bro. I don't even like that word. I actually think it takes away from our indigenous roots. I think Latinx does the same thing. And again, people get mad, but just speaking my mind, I guess, at the moment. This is my own live, right? I don't have a guest on and getting their perspective. I think all that takes away from our indigenous roots, to be honest. Isaiah's in the casa. That's right, cabron. I appreciate you, man. Got the skull right there. He said, "Shit, that must have hurt." What are you talking about? The chest shot way? The chest? Yeah, man. I got. I'm gonna go back in 2 weeks. Now we don't have to wait for the chest to heal. We could just do sections because, um, he's not gonna go over anything. That shit is darker than damn. And no wonder he was laughing when I told him that we used to have. And he's not too much younger than me. He's younger than me by like 8, maybe years. He might have been born in 90. I don't know. Maybe he's born in 90. But he was laughing when I told him we used to go get the Higgins ink and the Indian ink at Michael's, and he was like, "Damn, right, ink is trash." Well, then that's all we had, and most of the veteranos probably have the same ink. You know what I mean? If not, they mix toothpaste with lead, I guess, or whatever they used to do in the pen. Nah, I don't think it was lead, right? That shit can't be healthy. All right, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Again, how much does the Raza gonna move or flinch? Cancel their summer, cancel the carne asada, cancel the get-togethers, the quinceañeras canceled, the bodas canceled. Don't let it get to you like that. Don't let it cause any kind of mental, get it straight. Anyone that needs help, man, reach out to me on IG. There's not a person on planet Earth that says they reached out to me and I haven't responded, at least at some point or another. Usually if I keep deleting my DMs because it's junk, then I'll respond to you. Anyone needs any kind of help, man, just reach out to me. But don't feel overwhelmed. You come on the internet, brown negative, brown negative, brown negative. Then get to the positive. Start unfollowing some shit. But it's always Dios, it's always familia, it's always cultura, in that order, right? OG Smoker says, I'm going to call you. How to make $1 out of 15 cents? That's right, cabron. Hey, one time this is the OG Smoker story, right? We're in Chinatown, about 11, 12 years old. We used to hang out down there, right? Chinatown, popular place, etc., right? Salinas. And my mom's had some walnuts that were white walnuts, right? In a little bag. And I was like, oh shit, I played a prank on the smokers. That was fucked up. I played a prank on the smokers. I grabbed a screwdriver and I crushed them even more because they were already white walnuts. White. And they weren't big. They were like little horns, but like fucking 1 inch, maybe even less than 1 inch. I crushed them with the screwdriver, OG smoker, and we were gonna go to the block, right? And I went and I hit the block. I dropped them all on the corner. I just dropped them like on the floor. I walked around the block, OG Smoker. By the time I came back, they're all gone. All of them were gone. That's fucked up, man. That was fucked. That's what we used to do in our youth. Fuck with the bass heads. OG Smoker says that was me. Shit. Without clear communication, we all end up in hell. Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. Well, I don't know about the hell, but that's fucking taking it to the motherfucking max, right? But what I'm saying is this: how could you call yourself a brown influencer and you want to lead the raza into a ditch? The blind lead the blind and fall into a ditch. Real leaders would rather find solutions, even if it takes talking to people they wouldn't even talk to normally. And us getting bent on our politics is what I'm saying. Fuck all that, man. CNN and Fox, fuck all that. Don't get indoctrinated, get informed. Watch them to get information, but don't let that move who you are inside of you, man. When Moms passed away 2 years ago, I rebranded the channel Chicano Tube, and the shit took off like a jet plane. And I told Moms, we're going to do something with this. We're going to do something good with it. We already had the mayor. We've had politicians on. We had 4 immigration town halls with 40 people. Who else did that? I get you can have a show and talk about brown issues, but who else did 4 immigration town halls with 10 people each time? Because I saw that issue and it was that important to me that I took my time out. Canceled shit, block off my time to focus energy on getting guests, the best influencers, 4 months in a row. Am I going to do that for 4 years? I could, but that'll drain the shit out of me. Even if I took a break and came back on the internet, it's probably just pick up where we left off. Brown going after Brown. But I'll hold. But still, that don't mean life is not good. Okay, go get some arrachera, even though it's $13.99. Get some arrachera. Okay, go to the beach, grab the jet ski, chill, cabrones. Grab a pre-roll and chill, cabrones. All right, this is what Chicanos do. Oldies and chill. Carne asada, man. Mikey did it. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you, man. That's right, man. Yup, fools want to lie to the Raza and mislead them. I'm telling you, my boy. All right, you guys, live on Chicano Tube. I appreciate you guys, the midday fix. I'll see you guys tomorrow for sure. If not, from Chicano Street Studio on Wednesday. And don't forget, we got the new show. First episode is debuting on July 2nd. Chicano Street. Come and meet the crew, the cast, all from the 831, all from the same city, all friends of mine. So if you fuck with us, come on, 7 o'clock on July 2nd. It's called Chicano Street. We got the biggest he just came out with Gold Toast. Gold Toast posted him maybe a day or two ago. He said the biggest promoter in Northern California. I told him, cabron, you didn't tell me you were going to go see Gold Toast, cabron. I would have told you send him mines or even send him a gift. You know what? If he would have told me he was going to go see Gold Toast, fucking Oompa, if you would have told me, cabron, I would have gave you a Chicano flag for him, way. I got like an extra 4 or 5 Chicano flags. I've been meaning to do a giveaway, hint. My bad, man. But I want to order a couple hats. But you would have told me, wait, but anyways. And then meet the first homie comedian out of the 831 Salinas. And then, of course, a childhood friend of mine. Spend the night at each other's houses, man. Who else can I trust than my boy Ivan? I'll see you guys. I'm out. Remember what I always say? Remember what I always say. In the end, all you got is the memories.